So in this worksheet, I actually want to talk about the Boyle's law. And Boyle's law, first of all, let me just go over the chart here. Now Boyle's law, the formula is P1 V1 equals P2 V2. So when you change the pressure, you're going to change the volume. So the example here is where, if, for example, if you're pressing the syringe, will decrease the volume of the gas. Now when you keep pressing the syringe, you increase the pressure, but then your volume will be decreased. When you release the syringe, you're going to decrease the pressure, but you will increase the volume. So in this case, my volume and the pressure will be like going to two different directions, one go up, one go down, or one go down, one go up. So they are actually inversely proportional. Okay, and since they're inversely proportional, meaning that like one increase, one decrease, or one decrease, one increase, you gotta generate the graph will be like a straight line, and then your y will be volume, and your x will be 1 over p. Because when the 1 over p meaning that is inversely proportional, and how do you decide which ones go to which axis? It's like when you're changing your pressure, you're changing your volume. So your pressure is actually your independent variable, which is change, and your volume is the one that you're going to measure, which is on the dependent variable. So your graph would be a straight line, would be volume versus 1 over p. And here the pressure could be any number with the unit like ATM or Pascal or mmHg or torr or psi. And your volume would be milliliter or liter. And here the temperature would be temperature in constant. Okay, so now here we first will look up this worksheet. Now basically this part will be first you need to do is you have to list out all your variable, and if you need to change any unit such that your two same quantity unit will be the same. If they're not the same unit, you're going to be change or conversion. So for example, my volume 1 here is liter, my volume 2 here is milliliter. They do not have the same unit, so I have to change my milliliter to liter, or I change my liter to milliliter. So in this case, I change my milliliter to liter, such that this volume have the two same unit I can cancel. Okay, so you list out all the variable. Now based on the two condition, okay, so everybody use green pen. Based on these two conditions, number one, your pressure and your volume, they will be changed, because the pressure and the volume, they are not the same, and P1, P2 are not the same. The volume are not the same, and also your temperature is constant. Based on these two, this is called Boyle's law. Now you have to make sure that you include this part, because on the worksheet later you can have 7 different laws. They will have different situations. Now once you decide it's a Boyle's law, we're going to write down the formula is P1 V1 equals P2 V2, and then you look up which quantity I want to look for. I'm looking for P2. So if I'm looking for P2, I have to cancel my V2. So then I have to develop the V2 on both sides, so then keep my P2 isolated. So my P2, after I rearrange my formula and add the formula, would be P2 equals P1 over V1 over V2. Now once I have this added formula, I can put all the numbers in, and then I cancel my unit, and then I write down my calculator answer, and then I round to 2 places with the unit. Okay, so the change of the pressure or change of the volume, I also give the formula. Change in pressure will be the difference between two pressure. Change of the volume will be the difference between two volume. So you're going to just take P1 minus P2 or P2 minus P1, it doesn't really matter, and then take the absolute value, because the difference between the two pressure, the difference between two volume must be the positive number. So here the change in pressure will be P1 minus P2 or P2 minus P1, it doesn't really matter. You take absolute value, so then the difference between the two will be 1.11 ATM. So let's look up the example number 2 here. So 600 milliliter of a gas is at 8.00 ATM at the same temperature. What is the volume of the gas at 1259 torr? And also, what is the change in volume? So here's actually 2 different questions. So we first label them, okay? So 600 milliliter looks like it's a V1, and 8.00 ATM is P1. At the same temperature,
please report to the main office. Kevin Malone, to the main office, please.
At the same temperature, meaning my T1 and T2 are the same. I don't need to know what they are, because in my formula I don't have temperature. So as soon as I identify them, they are same temperature, which is constant, then just write that down. Okay, what is my volume of the gas? So I'm looking for my V2 equal question mark. And if they did not indicate what volume unit, then you will follow the unit for volume 1. So will be milliliter. And then 1259 torque will be P2. Okay, and then what is the change in volume? My change in volume will be the difference between the two volumes. So it will be absolute value of V1 minus V2, or absolute value V2 minus V1. It doesn't really matter. Okay. So we first list out what we have. Okay, so V1 is 600.0 liter, and my P1 is 8.00 ATM, and my T1 equals my T2, and then my V2, I'm looking for it, so question mark amount, and then my P2 is 1259 torque. All right, so we listed out everything. Now here there's a problem, because the two pressure, they do not have the same unit, we cannot cancel. So we have to change one of the unit. So I think I go back to talk about the gas pressure. We do have, I'm gonna write on here because I forgot to bring it with me. So I'm gonna write on here is the 1 ATM is actually equal 760 torque. Okay, you find this relationship from the gas pressure conversion unit, the worksheet or the review. Inside the big long bar, there's a relationship 1 ATM equals 760 torque. So you can actually change your ATM to be torque or change the torque to be ATM. So here I'm changing ATM to torque. That means I have to put my ATM on the bottom based on this relationship, and then my 760 torque will be on the top. So I'm canceling my ATM, and I will get 6080 torque. So now in this case, all my pressure unit are the same, all my volume unit are the same, then I can cancel. So next thing, I'm going to identify what kind of law by looking at what are changes, what are the constant. So here, because my pressure changes and my volume also changes, right? Because my V2 is question mark, that means my V2 definitely different from volume 1. So my V and my P will be changed. So my V and the P, they changes. Okay, they change. And then my temperature is constant. Right? My temperature is constant. So based on this, this is Boyle's law. Right? Well, how do I know it's a Boyle's law? Because I just told you my P and my V are changing, and my temperature is constant. Okay? So then now we gotta use the blue pen to write out my formula. My formula is P1V1 equals P2V2. Right, we box this formula first. And I'm gonna rewrite this formula again. Okay, now you see, I'm looking for my V2. I'm looking for my V2. So I have to isolate V2 from anything else. That means I have to cancel my P2. So how can I cancel my V2? I'm going to divide both sides by P2. I'm going to divide both sides by P2 because I need to isolate my V2. So my V2 is going to be canceled. And I will get my V2 equals P1 V1 over P2. All right. Now once I have this added the formula, I can substitute. My P1 is 6080 torque, and my V1 is 600.0 ml over my P2 is 1259 torque. Alright, so now here you can tell I can cancel my torque. And I should have milliliter left over, which is what I'm looking for. So after you do your math, and you're going to write out the whole thing, it will be 2897.537728. And I'm going to round the two places, will be 2897.54 ml. So this is my this is actually my V2. What is the volume? I'm looking for my V2. Right, that's part A answer. Now part B is what is the change in volume? So my change in volume is the difference between the two volume and take absolute value. So I'm going to using black pen. Right, so change in volume is equal to absolute value of V1 minus EV2. So I'm going to put my V1 is 600.00 and my V2, which is I just calculate 2897.54. So I take the absolute value and I subtract them and I will get 2297.54 ml. So this is my answer for the part